Today we will discuss about valley curve. Okay. So what is the necessity of valley curve? Valley curve we will see first. See, in vertical alignment, see, in vertical alignment, of road, if a down gradient meets an up gradient, then valley curve is required. See here, the curve is like this. Smoothly, the curve will be provided like this. Okay, this is the valley curve. Starting point of the curve, ending point of the curve. This may be down gradient N1 percentage, up gradient may be N2 percentage like this. Okay, this is down gradient. Generally, it is up gradient. So this valley curve, yeah, as in summit curve here, deviation angle. So deviation angle can be defined like this. This is deviation angle N, which is equal to here. It is N1 plus N2. Okay, of course, modulus can have. Okay, so first we'll talk about this deviation angle. So three cases we can see here. Suppose one down gradient meeting an up gradient like this. So down gradient, up gradient. This is N1. See down gradient, up gradient. Let us assume it is N1, it is N2. So this deviation angle is N. Here N equal to, it's actually modulus of plus N1, minus N1. Down gradient means minus N1 minus up gradient is N2. Okay, that means minus N1 minus N2, which is equal to N1 plus N2. Okay, that means modulus if you remove, that is N1 plus N2. Okay, positive values. So like this, suppose sometimes a down gradient, a steep down gradient, mild down gradient. One second. Steep down gradient joins with the mild down gradient. Okay, both are down gradients only. Okay, here down gradient N1, again down gradient N2. See here in previous case it is valley curve, right? Here also it is valley curve. Like this. Okay. So here deviation angle is N equal to, both are down gradients. Obviously it is N1 minus I mean, if you put proper symbol, sign actually, down gradient n1 means minus n1. So I mentioned magnitude only there, n1 and 2. Because it is down gradient, it is minus n1 minus. So it is and n2 also down gradient. So minus n2. So which is equal to see steep down gradient. So that's why okay, minus n1 plus n2. Magnitude wise, n1 is more. Obviously, it is n1 minus n2 is the deviation angle. Similarly, we can see another case also. Suppose mild upgradient meets with the steep upgradient. See, n1, n2, both are upgradients. See, here also you need to provide valley curve. Okay, that means here n equal to modulus of n1 upgradient means plus minus again upgradient, so n2. So obviously it is n2 is magnitude wise n2 is more than n1. Obviously it is n2 minus n1 is the deviation angle. So like this we can find deviation angle here. Okay. So then how to design this valley curve length? Length of valley curve. See, in valley position actually the main problem for us is headlight side distance. It should be designed for it is to be designed for number one, headlight side distance. Night time is the problem. Side distance is problem in night time only for valley curve. Headlight side distance. So daytime not a problem. I mean most of the portion you can see the you can see the I mean road clearly. But in night time the headlight up to whatever distance it can be focused. So that much distance only you can see. That's why we should design that length properly. Okay, to able to see that required side distance. Okay, so headlight side distance is very important. And the second thing is actually while negotiating on the valley curve, see because of that curve nature, when any particle moving in a curved path, what happens? Centrifugal force will experience. Okay, so because of the centrifugal force, see of course that centrifugal force is in vertical direction only, so vertically downward direction. So some discomfort will be there whenever that vehicle passing on a curved path. See, curve means here it is a vertical curve. Still, we experience some centrifugal force downwards actually for us. The centrifugal force will be downwards because as the vehicle passing on a curved path here like this, so the centrifugal force will be in this direction. Okay, mv square by r is the centrifugal force. That centrifugal force will be varying. Okay, because of that centrifugal force, the passengers may feel discomfort. So we need to take care of that also. Okay, so second one is comfort condition. Comfort condition, that is based on rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Based on rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Centrifugal acceleration. See, these are the two criteria we need to design that valley curve. Okay. So we'll see one by one how to design it for headlight side distance and how to design it for comfort condition. So first we will see headlight side distance. length of valley curve for HSD, headlight side distance. Again here we have two cases. Case 1, length of curve is more than side distance, headlight side distance requirement, and case 2, length of curve is less than side, okay, side distance. Here where L equal to length of valley curve S equal to headlight side distance. Headlight side distance. Okay. So length of valley curve for HSD needs to be designed for based on either these two cases. Okay. L greater than S, then formula is different. L less than S, then formula is different. So L is greater than S means here, we draw this curve and see. First case 1. Case 1 here, L is greater than S. That is length of curve is, length of valley curve is more than headlight side distance. That is the case 1. For this case, what critical position we experience means here, if curve is like this, suppose this is the curve, see this curve, whenever vehicle occupies, so that means here to here the distance is length of curve. This is length of curve. Okay. In horizontal direction only we measure that length of curve. Even though it is a curved one, the measuring length is in horizontal direction only. That is the length of curve. Okay. Then side distance. Least side distance will be available when the vehicle is at a central position. That means if vehicle is at, I mean, mid of the curve. That means here, when vehicle is here at the middle, like this, at this, from this position, you will get least side distance. Okay. I will mark you that side distance also. So the headlight side distance, again, it depends on one more thing. See, when vehicle is in horizontal, I mean, somewhere here, parking at somewhere here, I mean, traveling at somewhere here, suppose up to what distance headlight will work means, it depends on like this. Suppose headlight height is important, where the headlight is, and what angle it is making. So up angle will be there generally like this. So this angle is alpha, where alpha is light beam angle or angle of light beam. Okay, light beam angle is alpha here, and this height, I mean headlight, this height is actually, this height is, let us assume it is h equal to or h dash. Okay, h dash equal to level of height of headlight from road level, height of headlight from road level, that h dash. So based on this, if you see here, Suppose up to this position, it may give some lighting. Okay, the focusing. That means here this angle is alpha. This angle is alpha, and this h dash. Then and the side distance is s here. The side distance is s. This much distance only, headlight side distance. Okay, this much distance only it can focus. So that is s. Then this height will be this height is actually h plus, I mean h dash plus s tan alpha, because h dash is height of headlight from road level, then s tan alpha remaining distance is this s tan alpha. Okay, suppose mark here, if this is the s value, then this value is s into tan alpha. H dash plus s tan alpha is the vertical height from the least point of the road to that focused point. So this point is focused point. Up to that point only it can be focused, and this is the least point on the road at center. Okay, at center least point, and focused point is, let us assume this is A, this is B. Up to B point, the vehicle can be, the light can be focused, and A point is the midpoint. Now obviously here, you know, the equation of this, we are assuming this curve is parabolic curve. Okay, parabola equation we know, that is y equal to k into x square, or k value already we have derived yesterday in summit curve, n by 2l into x square, n by 2l into x square is the equation of curve. Okay, assuming this as origin, and at center position is origin 0, 0, the B point will be now x coordinate is s, y coordinate is h dash plus s tan alpha. We can substitute here. Y is here h dash plus s tan alpha equal to n by 2l into x square means s square, right? So based on this you can find L. So L equal to how much? ns square by 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha. So this is the equation for length of valley curve. Okay, it is very simple. The equation is here, this one, y equal to kx square, where k is n by 2l, already we have derived for parabolic natured curve. So assuming this as a parabolic curve, y equal to n by 2l into x square, assuming that least position is origin 0, 0, 0, then x coordinate is s, y coordinate is h dash plus s tan alpha. So least side distance will be available whenever the vehicle occupies at least, I mean lowest point or something, that that is central point, I mean lowest point of the curve. Okay, whenever the vehicle occupies that lowest point of the curve, the s will be minimum. For that s minimum condition, we got this L equal to ns square by 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha. And generally this h dash value, default value of this h dash is, h dash generally it is equal to 0.75 by default value. Okay, 0.75, and alpha default value equal to 1 degree. Okay, if you substitute this, you get L equal to ns square by, see what 2 into 0.75 is 1.5 plus 2s tan alpha, so tan 1 degree is 0.035. Yes, okay, this also can be used. If nothing is mentioned alpha and h dash, then by default you can take these values, and now formula is L equal to ns square by 1.5 plus 0.035. Yes, clear? So we have seen here in previous slide, first we have seen what is valley curve, why it is needed. So when in vertical alignment of road, any down gradient meets up gradient, or other cases also we have seen here, steep down gradient meeting mild down gradient, or mild up gradient meeting steep up gradient. Then also there's some deviation of angle is there. Because of the deviation of angle, we need to provide the road, the changing of the deviation angle should be very smooth. For that we are providing a curve here, that is valley curve. So this is the situation why we need to provide valley curve, means this is the situation. So valley curve needs to be designed for two criteria, that is, one is headlight sight distance criteria, number two is comfort condition criteria. And headlight distance criteria itself, we have two cases again, L is greater than S case and L is less than S case. We have discussed L is greater than S case. Okay, so here very simple thing is here, whenever that vehicle is occupying some least position, up to what distance it can be focused means, so that sight distance will be leastly available whenever the vehicle is at a lowest position. So from that lowest position, S distance it can be focused. So that height will be now h dash plus s tan alpha. So lowest point coordinate, if you assume 0 0, then in the equation of parabola y equal to n by 2l x square. So x is s, y is h dash plus s tan alpha. Substituting here you get L equal to ns square by 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha. దీంట్లో ఎవరికైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి? ఇంకా క్లియర్ గా అడగండి, ఏమన్నా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే. n by 2l ఎలా వచ్చిందనేది ఆల్రెడీ వీ హావ్ డిస్కస్ yesterday కదా. సమిట్ కర్వ్ లో ఏ విధంగా అయితే మనము y equal to kx square తీసుకొని dy by dx అంతా చేసామో, సేమ్ వేలో మనం y equal to n by 2l x square ఈక్వేషన్ వస్తుంది అన్నమాట. కీర్తి అర్థమైందమ్మా? శిరీష క్లియర్ అమ్మా? రసూల్ రసూల్ వినపడుతుందా? కార్తీక్ నాకు వినపడట్లేదే మీ వాయిస్. Okay, next we will see second case. L is less than S case. Case 2, L is less than S. That is, length of valley curve is less than headlight side distance, HSD. Okay. See, in this case, L is less means, So maximum side distance, I mean, for which position we get maximum side distance we consider, and we'll derive this. Okay. So in previous case we have taken minimum side distance. For the position for which we get least side distance availability we have taken in previous case. In present case, for position for which we get maximum side distance position we will take. That is, suppose this is the curve. So something like this. Okay, this is the curve. And let us assume vehicle is exactly here. Vehicle headlight is here. That means so this is the vehicle headlight is here, and from there we can focus up to suppose up to this distance, up to this point. Okay. This is the horizontal line, I mean parallel, the line which is parallel to the road. This is the line parallel to the road. Okay. So you know this angle is alpha and this height is h dash, right? Headlight height. Okay. Now basically this is deviation angle. This angle is deviation angle n, and the distances are like this. This is length of curve, right? This is the length of curve. L is length of curve, and here to here, obviously it is L by 2. L by 2. Now S distance, S is nothing but here to up to this is S value, side distance. Okay. Now basically this will be now here to here it is now. You can guess what is this. That is, this one is S minus L by 2. S minus L by 2, because total is this S minus L by 2, you get this is S minus L by 2. So S minus L by 2, and if you consider this one, if I extend this line, sorry, we'll use some other color to extension. Okay. Something like this. If I use this color for extension, now you can see this height actually. Okay, for this also, this extension also I will take with some other color. is something like this. Of course, this is h dash. Now this angle also, of course, n. Now here to here, this one how much? This angle is very small, so here this one, sorry, let us assume this itself. Here to here, this one, see, it is like this. Suppose this is theta and this is L, so this arc length generally L theta, if theta is in radians. So here n is theta kind of thing. Here now it is like this for us. This is angle n, deviation angle n, of course in radians. This is s minus L by 2. It's value s minus L by 2. Then opposite side approximately it is curve length, arc length almost similarly same. So this will be now s minus L by 2 into n. Okay, so this value is now n into s minus L by 2. This height, which is equal to, I mean, of course, this is actually h dash. This is h dash. Okay, and this one, see, this is alpha and it is, see here it is like this. This is alpha and this is s. So this height will be now s tan alpha. Okay, that means this angle alpha and this line distance is s. Obviously, this height is now here to here. It is s into tan alpha. S into tan alpha. Sorry, not to that. I will explain. Here up to here. Okay. Up to here it is. This one is s into tan alpha. So now here equation is very simple. N into s minus L by 2 must be equal to h dash plus s tan alpha. Okay. From this, s minus L by 2 is how much? S minus L by 2 equal to h dash by h dash plus s tan alpha by n. Otherwise, L by 2 equal to s minus h dash plus s tan alpha by n. Otherwise, L equal to 2s minus 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha divided by n. So this is the formula for length of curve. Okay, you know h dash equal to 0.75 and alpha equal to 1 degree. For this, L equal to 2s minus 2 into 0.75 is 1.5 plus 0.035 tan alpha. I mean 2 into tan alpha, 0.035 s whole divided by n is deviation angle. So default values are these. Okay, so this is the derivation actually. So very simple here, based on this alpha angle and this side distance s, this is s tan alpha, here to here it is s tan alpha, and this is h dash. This h dash plus s tan alpha must be equal to, because this l by 2 distance up to here, the remaining is s minus l by 2. This s minus l by 2 into n is this one. So n into s minus l by 2 equal to h dash plus s tan alpha. Based on this we can get length of curve here. The difference is here, assumption here is, here L is less than S means S maximum. When you get maximum S, so maximum S means headlight side distance, can be expected when the vehicle occupies, when the vehicle occupies at a starting point of curve. So this is the very important crucial thing for us. When the vehicle occupies at starting point of the curve, then only you can expect maximum S. As vehicle moves downwards, obviously S decreases. Okay, S decreases. So maximum S can be expected whenever the vehicle occupies the starting point of the curve. But in previous case, S is less than L. That means L is more, S is less. So when least S will be available, least S is available when the vehicle occupies at a lowest point or mid, lowest point of the curve. So for the L greater than S means for least S we designed this one, and case 2 highest S whenever possible, for that case we have designed this one. Okay, so length of curve basically based on headlight side distance, based on the headlight side distance and the length of the curve. So two cases will arise here. So whatever the case it is suitable for this, I mean acceptable, I mean that means whatever the case it suits, for that we need to find length of curve. Suppose initially you don't know that length of curve, you know only side distance. Assume case 1, suppose by assuming case 1 you calculate the L, then your assumption is correct, then you can go ahead. Okay, that means initially you assume length is greater than S. After calculation, if you feel that L is coming less than S, then switch over to the second case and calculate again L value. So whatever it is, I mean whatever assumption is correct, then we need to calculate based on that side, I mean the length of the curve. Okay, so this is about valley curve length for side distance, headlight side distance requirement. Then one more condition is that is comfort condition. Length of valley curve for comfort condition. Comfort condition. Okay. Here basically one assumption is there. Assumption is here. Starting point of curve to ending point of curve. From starting point of the curve to ending point of curve, assume we provide two transition lengths. Okay, two transition curves. Okay, two transition curves. That means deviation angle. This is main assumption here. So curve is like this. Then I mean gradients are like that. Then see, this is one transition curve, and again this is another transition curve. So this is the assumption here. So these are, we are assuming these two are transition curves. Why we are assuming transition curve means, in transition curve actually, what is transition actually? Radius decreases from transition means here radius of curve, okay, decreases from infinity to finite value. That is centrifugal force or acceleration increases gradually. See, our assumption is here centrifugal force. Suppose this point A, this point B, this is point C. So here centrifugal force or centrifugal acceleration increases from A to B and decreases from B to C. That's why we are assuming two times of LS is the length of the total curve. Okay, total curve is here. So total curve, length of curve is equal to here 2 times of length of transition curve. So why two transition curves means, first we need to get increase that acceleration, then again decreases. Okay, so because the tangent position if you see from a tangent starting point of the curve, no acceleration, no centrifugal acceleration. So gradually the centrifugal acceleration needs to be introduced, so without causing any discomfort. Then again the centrifugal acceleration needs to be decreased gradually without causing any discomfort. That's why two transition lengths we are providing here as a valley curve. Okay, so 2 times of LS is one assumption here. Okay, LS is length of transition curve, where LS is length of transition curve. So already we have seen how to calculate length of transition curve. It depends on rate of change of centrifugal acceleration, allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Okay, so here, you know what is centrifugal acceleration? Centrifugal acceleration depends on what? Velocity as well as radius of curve, equal to, that is v square by r is the centrifugal acceleration. V is design speed in meter per second, and r is the radius of curve. We don't know the radius of curve also here, but anyway, assuming allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration, allowable rate of change of centrifugal acceleration, it is actually c, that is in meter per second square per second, that is equal to meter per second cube. You know, actually its value 0.5 to c value ranges from 0.5 to 0.8 meter per second cube. Here in this design, generally c equal to 0.6 meter per second cube can be adopted, default value. Okay, default value 0.6 can be taken here. Then you know, if LS is the length of transition curve, LS is the length of transition curve, then how much time it takes to travel that LS distance. Okay, the time taken to negotiate, the time taken to negotiate this LS distance is T equal to LS by V. You know this, okay? Length by velocity is time, okay? So from this, then C is what actually? C basically C definition. C definition is the centrifugal acceleration by time, right? Centrifugal acceleration by time. So you know centrifugal acceleration is V square by R. Time is LS by V, okay, which is equal to now, that is how much? V cube by LS into R. From this, length of transition curve equal to V cube by CR. Already we know this from previous this one, okay, previous class. LS equal to V cube by CR, we know this. So now, how to find that radius? That is very important here. Here again one assumption is there. Again another assumption. Assumption here is transition curve is cubic parabola. Transition curve is cubic parabola. See, generally transition curve can be, perfect transition curve can be spiral actually, but approximated one can be here cubic parabola. Spiral, cubic parabola, lemniscate. These three kinds of transition curves will be there. Based on, about these transition curves, in detail we will discuss in surveying chapter. One chapter is there. Curves actually. There we will discuss in detail what are the equations of this cubic parabola, spiral, and lemniscate. Here, transition curve generally it is cubic parabola. For simplicity, for mathematical simplicity, we take this as a cubic parabola. Almost it is similar to the spiral actually. That's why we are assuming here it is a cubic parabola. Okay, cubic parabola means y equal to k into x cube. So general parabola is y equal to kx square, but here for transition curve we need to take y equal to kx cube, that is cubic parabola. So then dy by dx is what? Slope is what? K into 3x square. You know, at x equal to ls, dy by dx equal to slope n by 2. You know, okay, that is that curve is like this. Curve is like this. Total deviation angle is how much? N actually. So angle is deviating. See, at center point if you take, so here to here ls, again here to here ls. Okay, now total deviation angle is n actually. So in ls 2s distance, 2 ls distance, total deviation angle is n. In ls distance, deviation angle is n by 2. So based on this we can find k value actually. So substituting here you get dy by dx is n by 2 equal to k into 3 into ls square. So from this we can get k value. So k equal to how much? N by 6 ls square. N by 6 ls square. So now we got y equal to n by 6 ls square into x cube is the equation of this cubic parabola. So we got that equation. Now you see, so finally we got y equal to n by 6 ls square into x cube. What is dy by dx? N by 6 ls square into 3x square. What is d square by dx square? n by 6 ls square into 6x. Okay, the 6 gets cancelled. That's why n by ls square into x is the d square y by dx square. You know, d square y by dx square is nothing but curvature, right? D square y by dx square is nothing but curvature. We have seen this in structural analysis. Curvature of the curve, approximately. Okay, curvature is nothing but 1 by r. Okay, curvature is nothing but 1 by r. Now 1 by r equal to n by ls square into x. So at x equal to 0, at x equal to 0, r how much? R equal to, see, x0 when you get r is infinity, then only you get x is 0. Okay, at starting point. From actually at starting point. You know, at starting point it is a straight line, curvature is infinity. I mean radius of curvature is infinity. So radius of curvature is infinity means 1 by r is 0, that is at x equal to 0. At x equal to ls, at x equal to ls, see, radius in the curve, actually radius keep on decreasing from infinity to finite value up to midpoint, then from midpoint to again ending point, radius again from minimum value to infinity value it increases. So at x equal to ls, so r equal to maximum, I mean r minimum value get, that is equal to r actually. So substitute there, 1 by r equal to, one second. Okay, here 1 by r equal to, see, that r radius we know, at that is r at midpoint of the curve, r at midpoint. So that 1 by r equal to, now n by ls square, x is ls, right? X is ls. So cancel that, and what is r? Find it out. Okay. Now r equal to, or 1 by r equal to n by ls, or r equal to ls by n. So that is the r at midpoint. This r is actually, it is at midpoint of valley curve. Midpoint of valley curve, r is ls by n. So why we need all these things means, here in our equation actually, ls value, to find ls value, v cube by cr, we need to find r value. Okay, so otherwise we cannot find out that ls value. That's why now we can substitute r value here. So substituting r value, see, you know ls equal to v cube by cr, where r equal to ls by n. Okay, r equal to ls by n. So substitute here, ls equal to v cube by c into ls by n, or ls square equal to v cube by c into n. Sorry, what is that? N comes to top, right? ls square equal to n comes to top, and c will be here. So our ls equal to root of root of nv cube by c. So length of curve equal to now 2ls, which is equal to 2 times of root of nv cube by c. So L equal to 2 times of nv cube by c to the power of half. So this is the formula for finding length of transition curve. Okay. Here in this formula, L equal to 2 times of nv cube by c to the power of half. Generally, c value we take 0.6 meter per second cube. Okay. And you substitute here, you know, capital V equal to, I mean, velocity equal to capital V by 3.6, where capital V is speed in kmph, small v speed in meter per second. So substituting here, L equal to 2 into n into small v can be represented by v by 3 point, capital V by 3.6 whole cube by c value 0.6 to the power of half. So L equal to, you can simplify this 2 into 1 by 3.6 whole cube by 0.6 to the power of half into n into v cube. Okay, n into v cube to the power of half. If you simplify this, you get 0.38 n into capital V cube to the power of half. Here remember, V equal to speed in kmph. You can see that calculation, that 2 into 1 by 3.6 cube, 2 into bracket open, again bracket open, 1 by 3.6 bracket close, cube by 0.6 bracket close to the power of half. That is 0.378, that is 0.38. Okay. So finally, you can conclude that length of valley curve can be first based on HSD requirement. Case A, L is greater than S. Case B, L is less than S. Second one, comfort condition. So you should remember these formulas. Here L equal to ns square by 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha. Here L equal to what is that? 2s minus 2h dash plus 2s tan alpha by n. Here in this comfort condition, L equal to 2 times of nv cube by c to the power of half. Here default values, h dash equal to 0.75, alpha equal to 1 degree. Here c value generally 0.6 meter cube, this meters, okay, meter per second cube. Okay, So these are the things. Okay, this is the conclusion. Length of valley curve. So we have seen derivations, everything. Okay.